Um, that was just so wonderful to hear your essays. I so appreciate the courage of these students to share their struggles, the joys, and the continual journey that they're on, that they've been on and they're continuing to be on now. We're going to go into the Q&A portion at this point. There's a microphone right there. So please don't be shy, and you can ask some questions. And while we wait for people to go up and ask some questions, I have a couple ready. The first one, Alex, so now you've been back, right? How exciting. Can you share with us how the trip was, your experience back to Vietnam?
Yeah, I really enjoyed my trip. I actually met some of my cousins who still live in Saigon, and it was quite interesting because I don't speak a ton of Vietnamese, and they don't really speak a ton of English. So it's a big language barrier, but I found I definitely was very similar, both personality-wise and just very culture-wise to them. Which, yeah.
Thank you. My other question, and this is for the entire group here. It's been a few years for some of you. So for example, Jasmine, you wrote your essay in 23 as a 7th, 8th grader, and now you are in which grade?
I'm in 11th grade.
Or in 11th grade. And Sumin, you graduated, and now you are a freshman in college. And Alex, you wrote your essay last year. And Alicia, you were a 9th, 10th grader in 23, and now you're a senior. And so I would love to hear from each of you how those years have changed, or not, your views of your AAPI identity. And also, I remember one of you said, I haven't read this essay in years. And when you're reflecting back on it, how did that feel to you to hear your own voice from 2 years ago or 3 years ago?
Yeah, I can start if that's okay. So it's been about 3 years since I wrote this essay, and looking back on it, it was pretty crazy reading my voice from 8th grade now that I'm in 11th grade. There were some wording choices I'd make differently now, but also just looking back, I think in 8th grade, I was a much shyer person. I hadn't really found my community yet, and throughout high school, I've really gotten closer with a lot of people, a wider variety of people. I have more diverse friends now. I don't just stick to my little group. And I've also joined the Asian American Club. So there's a stand out there actually that me and one of my friends are running. And throughout this club, I've been able to meet so many more Asian Americans. I've been able to express my own Thai culture through Asian Culture Night, which by the way is this Saturday, next Saturday, if you guys want to come. I've been able to dance and connect through other cultures. And it's really given me more of a place in my own Asian American heritage. I felt more accepted, and I feel like people really see me for the mix of cultures instead of just a white American now, which has been really nice.
So the experience I wrote about was actually the first time I had played any Korean rhythms or Asian rhythms in melody in America. And actually since that experience, I've had a lot more experience in playing my cultural music. One example was a band arrangement that is called Variations on a Korean Folk Song that I played at NEC, New England Conservatory. And when I listened to that, I was really shocked as well to hear that Asian music could be transformed into Western music in a style that was loved by a lot of people. And just looking back, I think it's really crazy to see how shocking it was when I first played Arirang in Korea, in America, but I think as years goes on, I have been seeing a lot more exposure of Asian music in pop culture, pop music, and also K-pop. One of the biggest things I remember recently happening is BTS's newest album, where Arirang plays a very significant role. And I think it was a really great way to give exposure to Asian music that people around the world that may not have access to if it weren't for these artists and this new exposure. So I think it's really great to see how Asian culture is evolving, and to be able to recognize that is such, I think it's such a great thing.
I think for me, since last year, I've definitely become a lot more like just secure about myself in my Asian American identity, both from writing this essay and going back to Vietnam. And I think that like last year, I definitely felt a bit more insecure and about my identity, and yeah.
I wrote my essay like 3 years ago, and since then I've been back to China like a couple more times. And something that's really like allowed me to reflect back on this essay every single time I return to the motherland is the fact that every time I go, someone always tells me, "Oh, I can tell you're from America. Like you don't look like you're Chinese." And that's something that's like I've always kind of struggled with. So that's kind of returning to this conflict. But at the same time, I've definitely like grown a lot more confident in my identity and being able to redefine my ethnic background through like beauty standards and stuff, and rejecting these different molds has really helped me to gain a better understanding of myself.